Sup? So the gang from the Unsubscribed podcast has put out a challenge for both them and their community. Non-alcoholic because old enough to die for my country, too young to drink a beer. To achieve some form of either personal or fitness goal within the next 60 days. When they uploaded the podcast, when they made this challenge, was on July 12th. Currently is July 13th. I don't know when they put this challenge out on Paperbox because broke college budget. That's okay because honestly, for like the past couple of months since like the last spring semester, I had to consider doing some form of documentation of a self-improvement series on the channel. So thanks guys for actually making me doing this. Well, not actually making me, but actually putting some stakes into it, some accountability. However, for the sake of the challenge, I wanted to narrow it down to a couple of things rather than the whole broad improvement that I wanted to make for that kind of series. First off, kind of the main focus of this challenge is fitness. Fitness dick in your mouth. Now, I had always struggled trying to lose weight off and on just because of my lack of consistency, a reoccurring theme. Last time I weighed myself, I was down to about 220, but I have gotten as low as 205. So I think for the sake of the challenge, I'll try to shoot for sub 200 pounds, maybe even as low as 195. My true goal is to get to the Air Force standard of 180, but doing that in 60 weeks I feel like is a little too unhealthy because this is just 8.5 weeks. I believe the recommended maximum weight loss is like 2 pounds a week. So I gotta lose about 17 pounds by September 12th. A second goal I would like to throw into this challenge is related to my own musicality. Now, I grew up with music, I love music, I joined the band in 5th grade, I picked up guitar around 8th grade, but I always known that if I just put a little more effort into it, then I could improve massively. One of my main goals just in life has been able to make my own music, and just because of my own inconsistencies, I never really got up to my own standards of where I think I should be. One of my, I suppose, sub-goals for this challenge would be to record and upload a cover of No More Tears by Ozzy Osbourne. As I mentioned, I started guitar, and Zakk Wylde is one of my favorite guitarists right now, and I just love his style, his musicality, and just the way he phrases his solos. So I think that'd be a good starting point for me making my own music. A lot of inspiration is to get some inspiration from Zakk Wylde. And while I'm at it, this thing's been mainly sitting around since Christmas, and I got it for the sake of using it for a MIDI and also playing some piano and keyboard for myself. So I think another good goal would be just general improvement on this instrument, because I could do a lot with it in MIDIs and software such as FL Studio. And a final goal, sub-goal rather, would be to improve on my trombone, because believe it or not, yes, as I mentioned, band kit. And it's late summer, so you know what that means. Preparation for band camp for marching band. And I haven't touched it since last semester, spring semester, because I had to drop concert band to focus on my studies. More on that later. And for the past 2 years, I've only really gotten third trombone, because the college I go to, it has a great music program, and they want everyone they can in it. So tryouts and auditions isn't for getting into the marching band, but rather what your part is. And for the past 2 years, because of my procrastination and inconsistency, I would always get third part, which isn't a bad part, but I just hate that it was from a lack of trying. Another recurring theme. And so this year, I think I'd like to at least shoot for second. First part isn't bad, but it can get pretty tough. And finally, kind of what my main goal for my overall improvement series would have been is improving in my academics, keeping up with the channel, and just kind of getting my stuff together, because a recurring theme for me has been just inconsistency and procrastination. Tell me if this sounds familiar. When I was in high school, I excelled great without having to put any work, but then when I got into college, engineering college at that, it hit me like a freight train. For the past 2 years, I have struggled with college, and some of that has been part of, but not entirely, due to undiagnosed ADHD. But I did fight tooth and nail not to get that diagnosis just because I didn't want to get disqualified from the military. That might not have been the smartest thing to do. Plus, waivers exist, I believe. Along with the academic improvement, I would like to start uploading a little more consistently, which I will with the updates relating to this challenge, but other things I like to do, like video game stuff, music stuff, maybe even some video essays. But the hard part with that, I've always struggled finishing what I started, not only in my personal life, but also school. I'm also having to fit in a part-time job to help pay for my bills and kind of take off a financial burden from my parents. Don't worry, they're doing fine. I just hate taking people's money. The good thing about that part-time job is it is a night shift job that I can work in whatever schedule I have to, but I think I just have to work a minimum of 20 hours a week. Still a little tough for an engineering student that's wanting to do all this side stuff, but it should be doable. Should. I mean, the Unsub guys have always been a huge inspiration with me because I look at all they do and they're crushing it, and they talk about other people crushing it, and it's like, man, I want to do that. So they've been a huge inspiration for me, so that's why I've always wanted to do something like this. All of that word vomit to say, I want to get consistent, I want to get in shape, I want to do well in school and be a good engineer while doing music, while making content, while having to pay my bills with a part-time job. Which hopefully, if I crush it within the next half year, a year, or maybe I just get lucky like some people, this could actually start help pay my bills, which that would be awesome. That would be extremely awesome. In summary, by September 12th, I will be at least down to sub 200 pounds. I will have made a cover of No More Tears while showing some general improvement in my musicality, and my grades will be improved by then, and I will be uploading and streaming more consistently. And hopefully by all then, I'll be not necessarily a changed person, but a better person, reaching my goals and just being generally happier. Because I know I don't have excuses. I just got to do it. And whatever issues I have, either have to tackle them or learn to work with them. Part of the reason I got the ADHD diagnosis. I mean, I am medicated now, but we'll see how that goes. That's all I really have to say, other than if you're joining Unsub Gang on this challenge, I hope you kick ass. God bless you all, and see ya. It's so nerve-wracking, man. It really shouldn't be. But that's what we're improving for.